Hi, my name is Kimberly Newbury with Phocuswright, and I'm joined today by Eliza Pesuit from Global Glimpse, CEO and founder. Hi, Eliza.
Hi, Kimberly.
How
So
are
happy
you?
to be here.
We're so happy to have you here. Well, let's jump right into it, Eliza. I think Global Glimpse has been around for about 17 years, more or less now, but we're hearing a lot about Global Glimpse in the industry, and it seems like it's been a really well-kept secret. So why now? What's the moment? And can you tell everyone a little bit more about what Global Glimpse does and your mission?
Yes, absolutely. So, yes, you're right. Almost 18 years in, started Global Glimpse when I was 23. Travel completely transformed the way that I saw the world and my ability to lead and impact change in the world. I was in the trenches for 15, 16 years. Anyone who has built anything that sustains understands what it actually takes to establish that infrastructure, quality, program, impact metrics. And so 2 years ago, I made a really intentional decision to become an external officer. We are, I think, the best kept secret in the travel industry, operating at the intersection of travel, education, impact, and really equipping the next generation of leaders with the skills they need to lead and succeed in travel and really in any industry. And so this moment feels like a really poignant time where leaders are asking, how do we address all of the complexities of a changing world? And then how do we equip the next generation to have the skills to succeed and lead in that dynamic workplace?
Okay, great. So I think travel and tourism still kind of operates in silos to some degree. Hotels talk to their own clients, but maybe don't talk to airlines or destinations in a super efficient, seamless way. And generally, philanthropy is the domain of corporate social responsibility. So how do you see that evolving, and what does Global Glimpse bring to the table to kind of converge?
Great question. So I think the traditional charity model is dead. I think that there is really a desire in the travel industry and really cross sector for meaning, for connection, for authenticity, for purpose. The next generation, yes, is very tech savvy, but they want to connect. They want to really have experiences that are meaningful. And so I think the way that I see this is the traditional, like, write a check and, take pictures. That doesn't work anymore. What actually works is leaders that lead with their values, leaders that mobilize teams and engage them authentically and give them purpose and meaning in the workplace, stories that really align with business priorities, right? And impact that ties in to all of that. And so I think where I've been successful and where Global Glimpse is really unique is in reimagining how you think about impact in your business. It's not just CSR. It's not just social impact. It's employee engagement. It's storytelling. It's metrics. It's ESG. And it all ties to your core business priorities so that you really have a cohesive narrative that inspires, that motivates, that retains, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. So how do you work with corporations? I mean, budgets are tightening all over the place. Companies are really mindful of where they're making investments. So how do you kind of navigate and balance corporate responsibility, investments, and the kind of work that you're doing with the people that you're serving?
Yes. So I think we're serving Gen Alpha. We're serving Gen Z, right? We're approaching a really powerful milestone at Global Glimpse. We'll serve our 10,000th student next summer in 2026. And as we build partnerships with companies, first and foremost, we're listening, right? Like, what are your priorities? How are you positioning yourself in the industry? Where are we strong in terms of pipelining alumni, or in terms of telling an authentic story, or in terms of engaging employees in meaningful ways? And then how can we craft something that's really unique, authentic, sustainable, and fits into your overall strategy in a way that's thoughtful and and impactful, right? I think there's traditional ways of doing things in the industry that might not work as we move forward. And the next generation of travelers and leaders is demanding different ways of operating. So we're trying to be super nimble. What that actually looks like in practicality is very different for each company.
Right.
United Airlines is a headline sponsor. They donate airlift, right? It's extra seats, it's low cost, it's high value across the board, and we can tell a really cohesive story of impact. Another company, Chase Travel, is the lead sponsor on our Travel Changed Me campaign, which we just launched, and how we're thinking about collaborating with a brand that has so many different facets like Chase is really different and unique and evolving in real time. So I think the bottom line is like, what we're doing, it has to make sense from a business standpoint, and then it has to really resonate personally with leaders. And that's where I'm seeing just an upswell in leaders navigating a complex business climate, wanting to give back, wanting to pay it forward, but to do so in a way that makes sense for their business, for their leadership brand. And that's where I think Global Glimpse is just really uniquely positioned to give back and add value to the industry.
That's great. So I think let's kind of wrap up. I think it's really interesting that you're notably tech free. And that's something that's pretty interesting for high school students. That's your primary or main kind of client base?
So actually, we have launched independent and custom trips, and we've run a couple for different companies for retreats and sort of unique design custom trips. But our bread and butter is young people, 16, 17, junior, senior year of high school, and then really cultivating and going deeper with our alumni base.
Okay.
So yes, so tech-free.
But tech-free with this group and this cohort.
Oh, God.
What, right. How does that work, and why is it important to your mission?
So I think anyone who has a teenager or has had a teenager at home is going to understand this on like a very deep level. Technology is a tool to make our lives better. And travel is about connection. It's about humanity. It's about unique and moving and inspiring experiences. And so we have gone against the grain, and we've gone completely tech-free. So our kids hand their phones in when they get off the plane, and they don't get them back until the end of the trip, 11 days later. And what we see as a result of that truly present experience. And these are kids coming from all different schools. They don't know one another. They're coming from very different socioeconomic, racial, ethnic backgrounds, and they're sharing a meaningful experience, and they're truly present for the first time in their lives. We all grew up pre-cell phone, right? So we have reference to that. This generation does not. And so I think what you're going to see in the market, and why going tech-free is so critical to how we think about technology and the use of technology, is young people want to be present. They want to be engaged. They just don't know how to do it. And so it's really on us as leaders at this moment to think about how AI, how technology, how these tools serve the greater good of humanity, equip the next generation with the tools, the skills that they need to lead and succeed, but don't create all of the mental health challenges, all of the addiction, all of the inability to focus. Like, these are real problems, right? And so travel is uniquely positioned to actually solve some of those problems while using technology, so that the next generation can lead in a really human way with technology as an asset, not a crutch or, something that disables us to be as engaging and impactful as we can be.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Eliza, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, I'd say first and foremost, we have an amazing campaign going on right now called Travel Changed Me. It's a universal story. Everyone has a Travel Changed Me moment. And so check out the campaign. Chase Travel is a lead sponsor. The Points Guy will be doing a big piece on Giving Tuesday. Hilton away. You can win a $10,000 prize. Dream vacation from Delta Vacation. So make a donation of any kind and reach out to me, Eliza at globalglimpse.org. Check us out. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks very much. Thanks to Eliza Pesuit from Global Glimpse.